Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CRT. That stands for Cody
Robbie!
Time. All right, now for those of you that do watch our stuff, you will have noticed that we had a little bit of a break. Uh, there were a lot of things that went into this break on both of our ends. For me, I was suffering from anxiety and depression for a bit, and then right afterwards, I got sick, and then right after that, I ended up getting my leg got all red and swollen and bubbly, and it felt like I was walking on a blood water balloon every time I put pressure on it. Uh, and yeah, so that's what happened with that on my end. It's a bit better now though, and I'm going to see a doctor for it. Uh, so that's good at least.
And I was dealing with my job changes in my job, and then some Medicaid bullshit, and we were just dealing with a lot. We hope you guys understand. We don't. I don't think you wouldn't understand. But we wanted to explain why we disappeared.
Yeah, we were just explaining it to you.
Explain.
So,
By the way, if you hear me cough during this episode, I just got over being sick, and the cough is still there, but it's not as bad as it was. So I apologize.
yeah, I couldn't get someone over to his house to force feed him cough drops.
Sure.
I couldn't get a certain Skylar over there.
Hey, why are you bringing him into my house?
Hey man, he look.
Why
He
don't you
is
come
one of.
over here?
I am in a different state, but you want to hear one way that we're able to stay in contact even though I'm in a different state?
Social media.
That's right. And do you know what this episode is on?
Social media?
Yeah. No,
What
Rami,
did I
it's
win?
actually all on hot dogs. What do you
It's
win?
on it's on saucy meat.
What do you win? You win the ability to talk about social media on this episode.
Oh yes. That's why we have a show. Anyway,
Remember, though, the points don't matter.
I love that show.
Oh, it's a great show.
And for this episode, we are going back to our original format. Cody, do you want to explain for
Well,
those who need a refresher? Because it's been a while.
it has been
So
a
let's
while, hasn't it been?
so
It's
let's
been the
go
time
into it.
off in a couple episodes. Um, so the format that we used first of all was the good, the bad, and the chunky. Which, yes, for those of you film heads, it is a play on the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is the good parts about what we're talking about, the things that are just good for day to day life, good for mental well being, any of these things, good for technological advancement, even. The bad is the downsides to it. It's all the negative parts that are coming up. And the chunky is how you can take both the good and the bad and kind of mix them together. Because
Make it a
let's face it, you can't have the good without having the bad, and you can't only talk about the bad because then you're missing the good. You have to find a way to make them all mesh together because it's not always black and white, sometimes it's just gray. Just like it's not all creamy or peanuts, sometimes it's chunky. And yes, Rami and I both do love peanut butter.
We
It's
have a problem.
we okay, look. I don't have a problem. I've got it pretty much figured
I
out.
said we have a problem.
I know. I said I don't have a problem. I have it figured out. It's that I love peanut butter. That is the problem, and that's the solution. Peanut butter.
Oh, shut up! Anyway.
So, the first part of this little format of ours is talking about the good. Rami, do you want to start us off with that, or should I?
Uh, I'll give you the honor, buddy.
All right, then. So, when Rami and I were growing up, we didn't.
The 90s.
The 90s and the early 2000s, great time.
Beautiful time.
It was also the time where the internet, at least the worldwide more accessible internet, we can talk about the other internet in a second, uh, was born and got more widely accessible. Um, but it was nowhere near the internet that we have today. We didn't have YouTube or uh, Twitch, also known as Justin TV, like back in the day when it first started and all that. We didn't have
Didn't even
those.
have Wi-Fi, everybody.
Oh no, we didn't have Wi-Fi. There were some places that could probably get it a bit later on, but even those modems were nowhere near what we have now for modems. Like,
Oh,
the concept of having gigabytes of information was foreign to us in the 90s. Um,
and I'm
we
already for it.
No, come on. You're a citizen, damn it. Uh
But I'm brown. Okay, I'm sorry.
okay, we here at CRT do not endorse racism or sexism or any kind of isms on here. These are jokes, always jokes. We are jokes, and so are you. Uh, sorry, had to get a little disclaimer out of the way. So we didn't. The closest we had to social media was we had like image posts, board posts, like
Blogs.
yeah, we had blogs. The really irritating ones that someone would make that would have a background that would hurt your eyes, and the text would kind of turn invisible because they would choose a background color that perfectly masked the font. Like, the letters would turn invisible because they would match the background and everything. Oh, it was great. It was perfect. I loved going on to the Pokemon blog site to learn about Blue Chew and the other Pokegods that would have the background that would hurt my eyes. Great. I love it. Thank you. What, you didn't do that?
No. You make me laugh, buddy.
Thank you, bro. You do too.
What I like to do is play, like, see, because I've been using a computer since I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't got the dexterity to write like you or any able-bodied person. So I need a computer. And so I would play. I was the only one to have a computer in my room. And well, no, that's a lie. I think my older sister had one. But I was the one that had one because I needed to write. And so I would play with Merlin on word processing. And
Hey,
I
looks
know
like
it
you're
was
trying to write something. Can I help?
stupid paperclip.
Hey, you were a bigger fan of was it Merlin, the wizard?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Just because anytime you would click on that little hat, he would appear in a different outfit. And I don't know why I got so much enjoyment out of it. Maybe with magic, but yeah, uh, yeah, it was weird. But the little things that would excite you. But I'd also get computer games and
Mhm.
floppy disks,
Mm. I
and
love the floppy disks. And we're talking about the hard floppies, not the floppy floppies. The floppy floppies were from the previous computer generation, I think. We're t-
any Gen Zs listening to this, they'll have no idea what we're talking about.
mm, yeah, they probably won't even fully get what we mean by CD-ROMs unless they got an old enough computer that still had a
But
CD-ROM
no,
drive.
I I just remember thinking how cool it was,
Mm-hmm.
and like as I aged towards my pre-teendom, um, you know, they I'm thinking it's gonna get better and it's gonna be good, and it is good. Like it did get better for the good. Like
Mm-hmm.
for instance, the reason I love social media is because, as we talked about, I think on episode 2, escapism, right? Social media can be an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it can make you feel good, and it can refuel. To connect it to episode 1, it can refuel that pool
Mm-hmm.
that we talked about. Like when I post something, and because we all get upset at our families and people who just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's connecting episode 3. To be able to post something online and get love, that's instant. Just like, oh, you just feel connected to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's like,
You're just
I
gonna
can get
keep
over this.
connecting episodes, aren't you?
Well, that's what I do.
You're just gonna make a
Uh,
combo breaker.
wow. Um, I, but it just makes you feel good because it makes you feel not alone.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel loved. And having self-esteem issues, having depression, anxiety, that fun stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't come easily,
No.
you know,
You
especially to
need.
ourselves.
Yeah. You need the. What was it? You need to get that positive affirmation because a lot of time your brain's not going to give you that positive affirmation.
Yeah,
Um, but
and
other things that I'm surprised you haven't really talked about social media is the one that we brought up when we started recording this run. Um, the fact that we can talk to friends of ours that are all over the place. You know, if I
family too.
family, friends, the weird guy on the other end of the world, everything. Like, if I really wanted to, I could hop on Discord, talk with one of my friends that's in, like, Germany or the UK somewhere, and hop on one of my Monster Hunter games, and we could hunt some monsters together. Uh, it's wild how much the internet has advanced and how social media has advanced.
And
Like,
technology just in general.
oh, technology in general has just advanced. So, Rami, did you know that there are multiple ways besides a computer that you can take notes now?
Yeah,
You, like they have recorders the size of like a pencil, or sometimes even smaller, that you could use to just record notes.
that is scary.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, heck, Google made the Google Glass, which lets you just like record uh, like video and audio with just glasses on your face. I didn't say it was fashionable, but you can do it.
If you want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
fine
guess
with
the
my.
point I was making, it's good for connection,
It
right?
is. It
It's
is.
it's good for connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all need to feel like we're a part of a community.
Yep. We
You
all need
know,
to have that web. And if that web is helped by the World Wide Web, well, that just makes the World Wide Web a good web.
did you enjoy that or?
Oh yeah, I got a little kick out of it.
Oh, good, good.
Were you not? Did you not like the webbing of the web of the World Wide Web that I talked about?
Web.
uh,
What else is good about it? Let's just
man,
name a few other things.
there's
Two more things.
a lot of things that are good about it. For one, you are able to like let's say a company did something that you don't agree with, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that you found out that McDonald's is serving beef that isn't actually beef. It's actually an alien from Area 69. Uh,
Hey,
yeah, boy. Yes. You can use social media to spread the word about that and essentially make a giant boycott of them. By the way, that's not actually what it is. It's just McDonald's. They do use beef. They just kind of have it either frozen and cook it to hell or just cook it to hell. Also, they probably use beef patties that have other things in them as well, like, breadcrumbs and other things to make it so that it has enough of a percentage of beef to have them called beef patties. The only reason why I know this is because I watched a how it's made video on it. Uh, but yeah, you can spread word about it. And you can do it anonymously so that McDonald's can't, take a picture of you while you're telling them about your complaint and put you on a hit
and
list
then
or
they
something.
banned you for the rest of time.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't be able to have your McDonald's.
Everybody needs a McMuffin.
Oh, McMuffins are actually good. I was
Okay.
making this whole thing a joke, but you talked about McMuffins. Oh, dude. They
Um,
make good flapjacks, too.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Mmm.
And I think, um, well, what's one other thing that's good? And then we'll move on to the bad.
Well, I would say videos, actually, like streaming and all of
Yeah.
that. Which, yes, I'm going to put that under social media because some of the stuff was actually done from experimenting with it on social media. Like a lot of the streaming qualities and all that. There is streaming on like Facebook. I do consider Twitch a form of social media, just like I consider YouTube kind of a form of social media. You can interact with people on it, and it's on the internet, and you can foster communities on it. I think it's social media. It is a media that is social, a media platform that is socialized on. So, a social media.
Say social media one more
Social
time.
media.
Okay.
Social, wait for it, media.
Media. No, but I think it's great that one last thing that I want to mention about that, and then we'll move on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is I think it's great that you have all this accessibility, like to like if you need to repair something or something is, let's say your TV isn't working or your phone isn't working, you could literally hop online, hop on YouTube, and there are how-to videos that you can fast forward through to literally fix it. Like you could literally learn how to fix everything that you need.
Oh yeah, it's great. You don't have to rely on a TV repairman, man. That's great.
Repairman, man. Oh.
TV repairman, man.
uh, uh, yeah, good times. Yeah. But no, I think it's great that you can, you don't have to, because back in the day, if you needed something fixed, boy, I sound really old right now. If you needed something fixed,
Look it
you
up
would
in the
have to
phone
wait.
book.
You have to look it up in the phone book, make an appointment, and wait 2 or 3 days.
Hmm. And you'd have to wait for the people to come at like they would say it would be like 8 in the morning, and then you get a knock on your door at like 4 or 5 in the morning,
Yep.
and then you'd be just like standing there, like disheveled, bloodshot eyes, just waiting for the repairman to do their job so that you could kick
Now,
them out of the house.
like I said, you can use technology to be more self-efficient.
That's right. You can be your own TV repairman, man.
Or, just learn new things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people often say, well, I'm not a repairman. I'm not. Like, but with these videos, and some of them are just for basic, I'm just going to say basic pitches, right? Like, you could, like, at least you can feel comfortable and safe making the attempt,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Instead of just relying on help that may never come, or if it does come, it may not come when you need it to.
Yep.
Anyway,
You don't have to rely on spending like a few hundreds or thousands of dollars for classes at the local community college that you then might have to get student debt on to pay for, and then you're going to be in a whole mess of depressive situations and that kind of thing. Nah, you can go onto some YouTube videos and they can show you how to do it.
well, I was like, where are you going with this? And then
It's
I was like, oh,
fine, bro. It's fine.
right.
It's fine. It's fine. There are no awkward turtles. It's fine.
Turtles,
Awkward
Sheldon.
turtles.
Um,
Dude,
anyway,
give me some fin. Noggin.
dude,
Dude.
dude. Okay, on that note, that's surfing note. You want to move on to the bad?
Yes. Okay,
Dude,
so
what is bad about this tech, bro?
alright, so a couple things that are bad. For one, people are getting on that clout train, bruh.
You want to explain what clout is, bruh?
Oh, of course, bro. You know me. They're basically just good job points or brownie points from the internet. So they don't actually mean anything. Some people say they can get deals from them from other companies, but some of the stuff that they're wanting to make deals on are them doing pranks that are actually breaking the law. So they end up getting
Whoa,
deplatformed and not making any
whoa,
money.
bro.
Whoa! I think that I should be a little bit more serious with this, but it's hard for me to take clout chasers seriously.
That was kind
Um,
of a cool way of explaining it, though.
yeah, and it is a true thing though. For those of you who are wanting to just do things for clout, think about it like this. You are literally making a fool of yourself, making other people feel awkward, and making yourself out to be the lowest of the low on society for brownie points on the internet that don't mean anything. And the people that are watching your content they are laughing not with you, but they are laughing
And
at you.
at you.
Just think about that for a second and hopefully come to this realization. Just have this little pop in your head that's just like, oh wow, that doesn't sound appealing, and just don't.
But they won't.
Well, they probably won't, but for those of you that are thinking of doing the next quote unquote internet prank, I've got two words for you. Just don't.
Aw.
Just don't do it,
You got
Rami.
me.
Don't
You
do it.
got me excited. You got me excited. You know why.
What, were you expecting me to say fuck off? Or something like that?
Ready?
Huh?
2 letters. DX.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell them to suck it. Because that
In
would
a
be
matter of
sexual
speaking.
harassment. Those
And
of us
here at
here at
CRT, we do not condone sexual harassment.
Yes, good point. We here at CRT do not condone sexual harassment of any way, shape, or form.
Stewie?
No, this is Discount Stewie.
Oh. I'm full on Stewie.
No, I'm sorry, we don't have the budget for that.
Okay, Okay, discount Stewie. What's another bad thing about social media?
Well, if you really want to know, the fact that people can just make stuff up about other people and actually get them in trouble. There are actually people that have been fired from their jobs for something that was just made up before. That's definitely a bad thing.
No, it's totally a bad thing. Thank you, discount Stewie.
Of course.
Um, can I have Cody back now?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to get Discount Stewie back to his room in the closet.
No, but yeah, they can. These smear campaigns
Mm-hmm.
on social media are just horrendous.
Oh, yeah. And I know I did talk about, doing stuff about, getting stuff out about companies and all that. That's different than what we're talking about right here. Because sometimes, yes, there are some people that should probably get canceled for some of the stuff that they do. But a lot of these, cancel culture things, a lot of them shouldn't happen, in my opinion. Like
I agree.
there's a lot of times that people are taking things way out of proportion or are just taking lies of a situation at face value, which has happened multiple times, and then it gets shown that they're lies, and then there are some people that still believe them because they haven't seen the video that shows that they're lies. It's weird. Cancel culture is a whole different beast entirely. There,
Which we'll probably cover at some point. But,
yeah, probably.
I mean, I hate it.
Yeah,
I'll just say that right
yeah.
now. It, but anyway, back to the smear campaigns.
Mm.
If you're just in it to like ruin somebody's life, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like just fuck you. Like
I'm gonna say
we're
the
talking,
the two words that I said previously. Just don't.
just don't.
Just don't.
You know what? You know what you need to do? You need to look at yourself in the mirror, and you need to be like, what is wrong with me?
Mm.
Not a lot of people do that nowadays. They
They don't.
tend to use social media as well. They tend to tap into their insecurities and some of them say, you know what? I had a shitty childhood. It's time to get some payback. I'm
Mm.
gonna make people feel as bad as I did, or I'm gonna manipulate people's feelings and turn into a catfish and do it that way.
Well, and there's another thing that came about with social media, and I want to know if you've heard of this. All right, Rami?
Yes.
Have you heard of main character syndrome?
No.
Okay. So So you know what a main character is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah. So there are people that are out there walking around in life doing anything that they want, even making complete asses of themselves and treating people on the street like dirt, kind of a thing, because they kind of view themselves as the main character or more important than those other people. What is your take on hearing that, Rami?
That's wrong.
Yeah, thank you. That's just one of the things that is kind of foreign to me in a way of thinking. How can you, with a smile on your face, walk walk around with someone filming you being an absolute piece of crap to other people and still being able to go to sleep at night and being just like, I really am that fucking great. Yeah, you're not. If anything, you're just proving yourself out to be a nuisance that's probably going to get various forms of filming in public banned because people are going to just not want to put up with that shit anymore. It's just that's how it works. If stuff ends up
That's how
going,
it works.
mm-hmm, if stuff ends up going that way for a long enough period of time and enough people raise enough of a stink about it, it will then get banned by the long arm of the law.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go off on a 2-minute rant about that real quick.
You want me to go off on a 2 minute rant about the main character syndrome plague? Okay,
Yes.
then. Okay. Alright, so for those of you who are not even sure what I'm talking about right now, there are stories that have happened on various parts of the world from various people in the world. One really good example of it is this one guy named Johnny Somali, who he went to Japan, made a complete ass of himself everywhere he went in Japan. He made enough of an ass about himself doing the various things that he did, including uh, using Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and saying that he would bomb that they could bomb those places again, and just approaching women and acting like a creep and other things. He did that so much that various people in Japan found out where he was filming and gave him a few really good punches. And even the Yakuza found him and forced him to apologize. And if that wasn't bad enough, then he got arrested a few different times and was forced to leave Japan and not go back. I'm hoping forever, but it's probably for a little while. And then he went to uh, Israel and did the exact same thing. And this time he's still in custody. And I hope they don't let him out for that 99 years that he said they threatened him with. Uh,
That was beautiful.
yeah, and that's only one person, Rami. That's only one person. I can think of at least 10 more.
Well, no, because we gotta go.
Oh, I know.
We gotta focus on one
Uh,
other negative thing,
uh,
and then we gotta move on to the chunky buddy.
I know. I was just giving you an example about that and about how bad it is, bro. Like,
Ah,
yeah.
well, you certainly painted a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that as someone who didn't know about main character syndrome, after hearing that, how do you feel now?
Like I get the point.
Okay, good. You got the point. That is something that all of these people that have main character syndrome can't say. Oh,
Well, I can.
yeah, yeah. I think I actually got a sore stomach from talking about that guy.
Well, at least you got it out.
Yep.
Any other negative stuff before we gotta move on? Maybe one more small little thing.
I would definitely say that one thing, and this is more just internet in general, along with social media, is there are less people that will actually do research when talking about things. You know what I mean? Like, they will just read something on Facebook or something and take it as fact and then
Yeah,
just like, yeah, well, this says this. And it's just like, no. If you
and this
were,
was from 10 years ago, so it makes sense.
well,
You should totally take these people down anyway.
and it's just like, so you're relying on this one source, and I can bring up 99 others that say the exact opposite thing. You're still going to claim your one source.
Right.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. I think you're a genius.
Genius.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, it gets annoying when people think they're so educated and then you diffuse the argument and they're like, "Well, fuck you." It's like, "Yeah, you didn't really have an argument, did you? Maybe you should
Yeah.
learn your facts."
Maybe you should do your research. That's what you really have to do. You
But,
can't just
you know,
base. You can't just base a.
social media makes people lazy. It just does, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Like, I'm going to use a wrestling example.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if any of our listeners saw WrestleMania, great
So
WrestleMania. Enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was great. Uh,
great.
like these these internet nerds that live in their basements have probably never really watched wrestling like Cody and or I have. Um, will say, well, so and so does this and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, no. When you get spit slapped in the face by an educated fan about actually this is what's going on, and then you don't have an argument, then you're like, well, you're just wrong and you're just blah blah blah. It's like, no. I've actually been watching wrestling for 20 years. I actually know what I'm talking 21 now.
Mm.
I actually know what I'm talking about.
Also, that's
I think
not us saying that all wrestlers are angels or anything. That's just saying
I'm
don't
just
believe
saying,
everything that you.
and having experience about something is okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying I'm a know-it-all, but like I'm a massive WWE fan,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm pretty well versed. Anyway,
Uh, or as The Rock would probably say it, know your role and shut your mouth. Right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh.
Or Stone Cold might have a little sign language for you.
Yeah, he would.
Okay, so we've covered the good, the bad. Should we move on to the peanut butter?
Mm. Yeah, let's bring on that chunky.
All right.
Okay, so as I explained with the chunky, it's more to look at things as, not everything is black and white, things are gray. You have to mix the good and the bad together because you can't have the good without the bad, and you can't only have the bad because you ignore the good. Which, if you only look at the bad and ignore the good, then you have a pretty sad life. Because then you're just,
Pretty sad sandwich.
yeah, yeah, then you just have the freaking, then you just soggy bread. Not even the good
Oh,
bread. It's like someone just gave you an uncrustable that was like it was frozen solid a good 5 minutes ago. They didn't even warm it up or anything. They just let it thaw out, and now you just have the really really like almost mildewy feeling bread and the peanut butter that's still rock hard because it's still kind of frozen. And the jelly's still alright, but still, that's a sad sandwich.
sad sandwich.
Hey, that's a good new character. I'm a sad sandwich.
What are you made out of, sad sandwich?
Depression.
Children's tears? Okay.
No, that's the other sandwich over there. He's called
Oh,
Thrasher Metal Sandwich.
fashion metal.
I love metal.
Okay, so when it comes to social media, let's do three things
Hmm.
about with Chunky. What's number one?
So with the good and the bad, chunk the I would say one of the good things that has happened is the progression of social media from, it used to be the good example of social media back in the day was blog posts and sign or image boards. You know, that was the social media we had back in the day. And now we have social media that is actually like full on video streaming services that you can, you know, talk with people in the comment section on. It's advanced so much.
I'm on it right now. Of
Yeah,
course, that'll be
yeah.
yeah,
This is
but
definitely a form of social media. You're right.
yes, it is. Well, friendly reminder, guys: be kind to each other in the comments, and
Hmm.
please leave us a comment or a like. We appreciate the feedback here.
We do. And yes,
Uh,
make sure that you're nice to each other. We're all in the same boat. At least make it a nice trip, okay? We have enough waves in life that are rocking the boat. Don't try to rock it yourself. You might
tip the
just fall
boat
out.
over.
Yes!
Sorry,
To rock the boat, baby! Oh, anyway.
we're old.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that we're just starting to get aged.
ew,
Like a fine
Ollie,
scotch.
ew.
Ew,
I've never had
my.
scotch.
Scotch is good.
Yeah,
Have you had whiskey?
who are you talking to?
I know, and I know you've had whiskey. So, a scotch is Scottish whiskey that's aged in a barrel usually for like a good while. It's smooth, bro. Like good scotch is smooth scotch and it tastes good.
I'm sure it does.
Anyway,
Sorry, that brief scotch break was brought to you by CRT.
CRT, when you don't want to be a sad sandwich anymore.
Anyway, but yes, I agree. The progression has gotten better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
it's
very advanced.
easier. It is. It's just easier to. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, but
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to just jump right on.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for the dial tone, or you don't have to wait for
You
somebody to
don't
be
have to
off the phone.
constantly refresh the page over and over and over again on
You
some
don't even
forms
have
of.
to get on a computer anymore.
Yeah, you can use your freaking phone.
Your
The
phone is a computer,
yeah, your phone
which is
is more
kind of
powerful.
scary when you think. Which is kind of scary when you think about it, buddy.
Rami, our phones are more powerful than all the computers combined that helped land that helped out in the space landing. All those computers put
Wow.
together, less powerful than our phones,
Oh,
and we can put them in our
that's
pocket.
yep.
Which in
I don't
itself is
care.
also a very interesting thing because do you remember the cell phones that we had?
Little bricks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the literal bricks.
My
That
grandpa had one.
yeah. If you were lucky, the way that you saw them was from like different shows. Like I think that was on Save. Was it in Boy in the
No, it was in.
which show am I thinking of?
I don't know, but I never saw it in any TV shows.
I
Uh,
only saw it in a TV show.
the
The
the the phones that I would see in TV shows are the house phones.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
or
yeah.
or landline phones.
Which aren't
'Cause back in the
really,
day,
they aren't a thing anymore.
yeah, back in the day, kids, there were phones on hooks.
I mean, dude, we had a rotary phone. Like,
Yeah.
like I know how to use a rotary phone because our first phone was a rotary phone.
Oh, I do
Or
too. I
the
mean,
first phone that I had growing up, landline, rotary phone.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I do too.
yeah.
My grandma had one, and I mean, I wasn't great at it, so I never really.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more, have a little bit more finger strength and be a little bit more dexterous.
Well, um, I wasn't, and I
I
was
know
so happy when they actually got a a regular phone,
with the
'cause then I
buttons.
could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you just
Um,
need to push, not put your finger in the hole and drag to the end.
it's true. God, what a time.
Mm.
Uh,
What a
okay.
time to
Well,
be alive.
what else in the chunky? Two more things, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, two more things. Two more things. Well, the something that is both good and bad that you just have to kind of take, I think, are influencers. You know,
Yeah.
like
Influencers aren't gods.
no,
I mean,
uh,
I mean they're awesome.
for the
Don't get me
most part, yeah,
wrong.
a good amount of influencers are yes. You have both good influencers and bad influencers, just like you have good actors and bad actors. Um, you have some influencers like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, a whole bunch of other influencers that they do charity live streams that end up gaining like millions of dollars to give to a charity. And then you also have like the one that I mentioned before, Johnny Somali, and other influencers like him that just do what they do to be a burden on society. And you have to take the good with the bad. You have to take good influencers with the bad influencers.
You
Uh,
just need to watch the thing that I'm gonna say here. Click PTSA
mm-hmm.
is just wa- watch who you're watching and really pay attention to what their values are. Because you can know right away if they're good influencers or bad right away.
Also, I would say when you are watching them, keep in mind that they are still people. They're not, above you. They're
They're
not
not
beneath
statues,
you. They're
guys.
not Yeah. Um, and remember that they are there to entertain you. They aren't there to be your best friend and your therapist and that kind of stuff. It's good. It's okay to use their videos and that as a form of therapy, but don't pressure them into
Don't let
being
that
your.
be your only safety net.
Mm-hmm. And don't
Remember,
don't
go ahead.
don't try to pressure them into being your therapist or your best friend because they don't know you.
Just appreciate who they are, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Be a fan.
Yeah.
Don't over ask for anything. Don't. I mean, we're not saying don't be a fan, but just
Yeah. No.
just ease back. They're people too.
It's good to be a fan. Just don't be a stalker fan, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's just like with us. If we ever get bigger, or any of you guys start thinking of us as your friends or therapists, uh, we are glad that we're able to help you out with this kind of stuff. But we don't know any of you unless you're
first.
actually friends of ours. We don't know any of you personally, and we can't be we can't be more than what we are right now, which is just people making a video to try to help others. We can't be your best friends. We can't be your therapists.
Podcast rather, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, and don't get us wrong. If we ever meet you guys, we'll give you a fair shake,
Yeah.
right? We'll give you a fair chance. Um, and I know, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but coming from the work I do compared to Cody, I might be a little more open to giving you a chance and talking to you about your issues, but I have my limits as well. So,
Oh yeah, no, that's completely fair. With my social anxiety stuff, I don't leave my house all that much, and I am somewhat weird about just meeting random people that I don't know unless I'm with some people that I do know. It's social anxiety can be a bitch.
any anxiety can be a bitch. That's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
why important. That's again, we just want to stress use your other outlets, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make these influencers, these vloggers, your only, don't make them your therapist, like Cody said. One last thing, buddy, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. One last thing. Uh, I guess the sites themselves. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, because if you want just a place to kind of post things and that, you have Facebook slash Meta, you have Twitter slash X, you have various like anime sites that you can use as social media hubs. You have various art sites that you can use as social media hubs. You've got a whole
don't
bunch of different social media sites. You've
don't
got
just tie yourself to one. I
mm-hmm.
mean, the only
or
reason. Go ahead.
or if you do tie yourself to one, don't completely immerse yourself into them, and know that there are some good sites and there are some bad sites. Like,
I don't. I'm tied to one, right? But I don't think I completely immerse myself in Facebook.
yeah, no.
No.
Um, I'm talking about the people that they have no life outside of Facebook. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Posting
Or
24/7.
mm-hmm. Or like the people who the only thing that they spread on social media is like vitriol and that kind of thing, you know? Like just spreading anger and hate on social media. Don't do that. Don't lose yourself to that.
And we're
Remember,
not saying you can't express yourself. Of course
no.
you can.
Yeah.
It's your Facebook page, but like once you get it out there, remember it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful how you phrase things. Be careful, you know. We're
Yeah.
not saying don't hurt
Don't
anybody's feelings or ignore your feelings, but don't say anything you'll regret at the same time.
mm-hmm. Don't post something and then go, "Whoa, whoa, why am I getting criticized on what I posted?" You know, don't like post a bigoted hate speech and then wonder why people are calling you a bigot.
Right? Just own your post.
Mm-hmm. Or try to learn from them. That's another thing too. You know.
Actually, I think that's a combo deal. Just
Yep.
own your post, try to learn from them, and try to just be smart what you put online, guys, and who your audience is, and like
Well,
you know,
they can always just
common
get
sense.
smart.
Common sense. Yeah, common sense is important with these types of things.
It
And
is.
remember, these are luxuries.
Yep.
These aren't. These aren't. You know, I have a social media still. I am the law. No, you're a person like everybody else.
Yep.
And if they kick you off, they probably have a good reason for kicking you off. So,
Also, just remember not to revolve your whole life around your social media. like there is a difference between using social media responsibly and just having an unhealthy fixation on it, because that can also cause a lot of stress and pressure to be put on you and all of that. Like Rami said before, when he would post things just like for likes, that was causing him stress because he would
I would check it every 5 seconds.
mm-hmm. And
And that's not healthy.
no, and it's also not healthy to just like you know just do post after post after post after post after post after post after post in like an hour. Like if you find yourself doing like 50 plus posts in an hour, I think that you can put it down for a little bit. If you don't want to go
Just
out.
know your limits. That's all we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless it's your job,
Yeah.
that's completely different. But if it's
Well,
not your job and you find yourself online too much, notice it. Maybe do something else. Go outside, paint a picture, read a book,
I
watch some TV.
I would say even if it is your job, you know when to take breaks.
Or you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, buddy, weird fact time.
Okay, weird fact time. Did
It's been
you
a while.
know?
I'm excited.
Okay, weird fact
I'm
time.
excited. I'm excited.
Did you know that there is a species of sea worm out there that is a segmented sea worm that is actively hermaphroditic?
Is it an Alaskan bullworm?
No, no.
Damn it.
Do you know what actively hermaphroditic means?
No.
It means that they have both sexes at once.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. They have both the taco and the twig and berries.
Hooray.
Yeah, that also means that they
Hey,
can both father and mother.
I am your father, mother. Mother.
So that a good enough weird fact, or do you want another
Oh,
one?
yeah. No, no, no.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, guys, we hope that you've enjoyed, this episode, and we're happy to be back. We're gonna try to be posting more regularly like we were before we went on our little hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
may take some hiatuses here and there. If we do, obviously, we will let you know when we get back why we took them, unless it's too personal.
That's
But
right. And like
um,
every other time,
until
he's Goku.
no, I'm not. He's
Oh,
Cody.
he's Robbie.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. And now I'm going to. You're not going to stop me from playing the theme song again.